So here's our situation. We have a form here, and we have a data grid with columns, payer, payee, and amount. And we have a button, refresh. So let's just open the code. So you can see on the command text, we are reading from Tibel transactions. And we have a method, load data, which is being executed on the form load and on the button click. So let's just comment on the form load and test. So let's click refresh and move the form. So as you can see, I cannot move it. So let's check the data. So it is more than 700,000 rows. And our goal will be to add a loading effect whenever the data is loading. And also to somehow optimize or reduce the lag on the UI or on the form. So to start, we will add a class. Let's just call it progress data grid view. We will make it public, and we will inherit the data grid view class or object. So let's just save and build. And let's go to our designer.cs, and let's search for the data grid view. So there it is. We will just replace this. Also this one. Let's just save. And as you can see now, it is a type of progress data grid view. So let's just go back to our class. And first, we will override the onPaint. And we will draw base image, our base image. So we will be using linear gradient brush from this namespace. So color from system.drawing. So a shade of blue. Let's just add a graphics object. So next we will set the size and calculate the position of the cursor. So basically we will just center the cursor on the data grid. So let's just check. So there it is. We will remove the pixelation. And let's just change the dash style of the pen. Let's check. There it is. Next step, we will draw the animation effect. So let's just make it color white. We will add the variable current angle. So let's just add the constructor. And we will add the timer. So we will update the current angle in the timer. So we will add 45 degrees every time. And when it reaches 360 degrees, we will reset it to 0. And we will repaint the data grid. So let's just check. So there it is. So we will change also its dash style. So there it is. As unfortunately, this technique will not work because the loading of the data and the painting of the data grid is done on the main or UI thread. So to fix this, we will add a background worker. So let's just call it animation thread. Let's just remove the timer and we will set the event of that background worker on the constructor. So we will remove the invalidate and let's add the boolean flagging. So let's just call it show loading cursor. And we will create a while loop on our background worker. So we will remove the on paint, and instead we will just create a private method. So instead of the e.graphics, we will use or call the create graphics. So let's just update the comment, and we will add an animation effect or delay. So thread.slip. Next step, we will add another background worker for our data. So let's just call it data thread. Let's just copy the code in our form. Let's just add its namespaces. And we will add a using statement. We will fix the parameters needed in our code. So basically, we can pass parameters on a background worker. So first, the connection string. The next is the command text. And the last one is the auto generate columns. Next, the loading of the data to the data grid view should be executed on the UI or main thread. So to fix this, we will use or call the invoke method. Let's just remove the TBL transactions in here. And next, we will add the public method that will execute everything. So let's just call it load data. So first, uh, we will set the flagging to show the loading cursor. And we will run the background worker of the animation. The next is the data thread. And we need to pass the parameters. So an array of object. Let's now build and apply it on the form. So let's just remove it. So we will call the load data and pass the parameters. Let's just test. So there it is. And I think we forgot something. We need to stop the animation once the loading of data is completed. So we will do it on the run worker completed event of the background worker. So we will reset the flagging and repaint the data grid. So let's just rebuild and test. So let's click refresh again. So there it is. Let's retest it. And now let's try to move the form. So it is working. So another one. There you go.